Hello, little adventurers, and welcome to our story corner. Have you ever wondered where rainbows come from? Or what might be hidden at the very end of one? Well, today, we are going to find out. Once, in a cozy little house nestled between rolling green hills, lived a curious girl named Luma. Luma loved rainy days. She loved the pitter-patter of drops on the windowpane and the fresh, clean smell of the earth afterward. But most of all, she loved what came after the rain, the rainbow.
One sunny afternoon, after a gentle shower, the most brilliant rainbow she had ever seen arched across the sky. It was so bright and so close, it looked like she could almost touch it. With her little yellow boots on, Luma tiptoed out into her garden. The rainbow's end seemed to be resting right behind the old oak tree. "Wow," she whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. As she got closer, the colors shimmered and danced. It wasn't just light, it felt magical.
Hesitantly, she reached out her hand and touched the vibrant red band. Instead of being wet or airy, it felt warm and solid, like a shimmering curtain. With a giggle, she pushed through. Whoosh! Luma found herself sliding down a swirl of colors, landing softly on a cloud that felt like a fluffy pillow. She wasn't in her garden anymore. Around her were islands floating in a sky of soft pastel hues. Butterflies with wings like stained glass fluttered by, and the air hummed with a gentle, sweet melody. Where am I? Luma wondered aloud. You're in Prismatica, the world inside the rainbow, a cheerful voice chirped. Luma looked down to see a tiny squirrel with a coat of sparkling sapphire blue, holding a tiny paintbrush. I'm Squeaky. Welcome. Luma, wide-eyed, could only say, You can talk. Squeaky chuckled. Of course, everyone can talk here, but not everyone is happy today. He pointed his paintbrush towards a large, lonely-looking floating island in the distance. On it, a magnificent creature sat with its head hung low. It was a dragon, but unlike any dragon Luma had ever imagined. His scales were a dull, sad grey. That's Chroma, the rainbow dragon, Squeaky explained softly. He's the one who paints the rainbows in your world, but he's lost all his colors, and now he's too sad to fly or paint. Luma's heart went out to the lonely dragon. Lost his colors? How? Can we help him get them back? Squeaky's ears perked up. I think we can. The colors weren't lost. They scattered across the lands of Prismatica when he had a big, gloomy sigh. They're waiting to be found. But it's a long journey. We'll need to go to the Whispering Woods, the glimmering geyser fields, and the crystal caves. Are you brave enough to help, Luma? Luma puffed out her chest. Of course. A dragon needs his colors. Let's go. And so, with Squeaky perched on her shoulder, Luma set off on her grand adventure. Their first stop was the Whispering Woods, where the trees had leaves of silver and gold, and they whispered secrets to the wind. The color red was said to be hiding here. As they entered, the whispers grew louder. To find the red, you must show a heart so true. An act of kindness is what you must do. Luma and Squeaky looked around. They soon found a family of little mushroom sprites huddled together, shivering. Their mushroom cap home had been knocked over by a gust of wind. Oh, you poor things, Luma said. She and Squeaky immediately got to work. Pushing and pulling together, they managed to set the mushroom house upright. The mushroom sprites danced with joy. As they cheered, a beautiful, glowing red orb floated down from the tallest silver tree. It was the color red. It swirled around Luma, then zipped off towards Chroma's island. Thank you, Luma, the sprites chirped. Luma smiled. Teamwork did it. Next, they journeyed to the glimmering geyser fields, where fountains differencas of sparkling water shot high into the air. Here, they had to find the color yellow. An old, wise tortoise sat by a pond, a riddle keeper. To find the light of sunny yellow, the tortoise said slowly, solve my riddle, clever fellow. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I? Luma pensiro hard. Squeaky twitched his nose. Cities, mountains, water. Luma whispered. Then her eyes lit up. A map. It's a map. The tortoise smiled a wide, slow smile. Indeed. As he spoke, a geyser erupted, and perched atop the spray of water was a radiant yellow orb. It shimmered brightly before flying off to join the red. Luma had used her clever mind to solve the puzzle. Their final stop was the crystal caves, the walls with glowing crystals of every shape and size, tinkling like wind chimes. They were looking for the color blue, but the cave was a maze. They soon came to a dead end, where a small, fluffy cloud bunny was crying. "I'm lost," the bunny sniffled. "I can't find my way out." Luma felt a pang of empathy. She remembered feeling a little lost herself when she first arrived. "Don't worry," she said kindly. "We are a bit lost too, but if we stick together, I'm sure we can find the way." Luma, Squeaky, and the little cloud bunny held hands and paws. They decided to follow the sound of the gentlest chimes. Luma listened carefully, Squeaky sniffed the air, and the bunny pointed out the path that felt warmest. By combining their senses, they navigated the maze. As they reached the cave exit, a deep, beautiful blue orb emerged from a giant crystal heart in the center of the cave. It pulsed with a calm, steady light, and then it, too, sped off towards the dragon. "You found me by working together and being kind to a friend in need," a soft voice echoed through the cave. With all three primary colors found, Luma and Squeaky raced back to Chroma's island. As the orbs of red, yellow, and blue arrived, they swirled around the gloomy grey dragon. They danced and mixed, creating a cascade of orange, green, and purple. The colors began to seep back into Chroma's scales. First, a vibrant red, then a sunny yellow, a deep blue, a zesty orange, a fresh green, and a royal purple. Chroma lifted his head, his scales now gleaming with all the colors of a perfect rainbow. He stretched his magnificent wings. I have my colors back," he roared, but it wasn't a scary roar. It was a roar of pure joy. "Thank you, little one. You reminded me that kindness, cleverness, and teamwork are the brightest colors of all." With a happy flap of his wings, Chroma soared into the sky, painting a magnificent, shimmering rainbow across the pastel expanse of Prismatica. It was the most beautiful rainbow Luma had ever seen. Her adventure was over. Chroma gently scooped her up and flew her back to the shimmering curtain. "Don't forget us, Luma," he said, his voice warm. "I won't," she promised, giving the dragon a hug. She stepped back through the colors and found herself in her garden, right by the old oak tree. The sun was setting, and the rainbow in the sky was fading. But Luma knew it wasn't gone. It was just waiting for Chroma to paint it again. She ran inside, her heart full. She had learned that a little kindness, a bit of teamwork, and a curious mind could bring color back to the world, and to a friend heart. And she knew, every time she saw a rainbow, that it was a reminder of her amazing adventure and the friends she made in the magical world of Prismatica. Thank you for joining Luma on her colorful journey today. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you enjoyed our story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical adventures. See you next time.